Today I want to talk about, Arkansas and why I think it is one of those programs that we should all be watching in 2021. All it's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. I want to talk about Arkansas football. I enjoy talking about Arkansas football. I believe that Sam Pittman is one of the better head coaches in all of college football and certainly in my top 5 of the most fun. I also love talking about Arkansas football because I bought in early. I have lots of stock in Razorback football going back now over a year. And I've been vindicated by how Arkansas played in 2020. They got robbed of a win against number 13 Auburn. They're right there with LSU. They held Najee Harris to under 50 yards rushing, right? And they were able to hang on to what I think is the hottest defensive coordinator in all of football, right? Barry Odom. And I'm doing a list because this business, right, talking into a microphone, doing this show, is all about list, right? This channel acts like sports talk radio. Sports talk radio lives, breathes, lists, and rankings, and I love doing them. As a matter of fact, you see them on Fox Sports throughout the week. And feel free to disagree with me, argue with me in the comments on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever it is you see them, because I don't like giving a list without giving reason as to why these folks are on the list or ranked in such an order. So I'm doing this list about the top 10 breakout defensive players in 2021. And I'm doing my due diligence on a lot of players that I really like, right? Some of them you've heard me talk about. Eli Ricks, who apparently is going to stay at LSU. Malachi Moore, who I believe was the most important defensive back at Alabama last year. I'm also looking at edge guys like Nick Bonito, who had 7.5 sacks last year, who's returning. And I'm going to do this segment. But I settled on Jalen Catalon, who's going to be a true sophomore next year. Because I looked at the top 5 in tackles at the SEC. And there are 3 Arkansas players inside the top 5 leaders in tackles in the SEC. 2 of them are linebackers, Grant Morgan and Bumper Poole, who each had over 100. Grant Morgan had 111. Bumper Poole had 101. And then with 99, Jalen Catalon, who also had 3 interceptions. My buddy Michael Bishop compared Jalen Catalon, his size, to Tony Jefferson, about 5'10", right? About 200 pounds. Can tackle anything, right? You funnel to him. But I think that that's a little off, right? Because Jalen is better in coverage than Tony was. Tony is basically a linebacker, right? He's a strong safety that dropped down. Jalen is like a mini Isaiah Simmons. You can line him up at 7 positions, okay? He's also what I call a 30%er. A 30%er is the kind of defensive back that roams and can cover everything. As a matter of fact, the reason I call him 30%er, 70% of this world we live in, 70% of the earth is covered in water. The other 30% are covered by DBs like Jalen Catalon, okay? He's that good. He's going to roam. He's playing that star position, that rover position. If he's lining up on you, good luck. He's also going to come downhill. He's going to strafe. He's going to run to the football. He's going to rally to it. And he's going to be in on every play. I love those kinds of players. And I especially love them at this rover star position. The same position that Eli Ricks plays on a good defense, right? Because I think Derek Stingley Jr. is going to have a bounce back year. It's the same position Malachi Moore and Brian Branch play at Alabama. I'm a big fan of slot corners. I love slot corners. I love slot corners that can tackle, right? Because then you defy a defensive position. It's the reason why we had such a hard time with Isaiah Simmons going into the drafts, because some of us had him as a linebacker. Some of us had him as a DB. He went in as a linebacker. They listed him as a linebacker at Clemson. But I swear to you, I wanted to put him on my Jim Thorpe Award ballot, dude, because he was just a monster at Clemson. And to be that big, 6'4", 230, right? That's why I say mini Isaiah Simmons, because you can line him up everywhere and you can build your defense around him. But at Arkansas, you don't have to. You have Grant Morgan. You have Bumper Poole. You have defensive tackles that can get after people. And you have a really smart defensive coach in Barry Odom who's ready to see what he has and to play them where they need to go. Like Miles Slusher is another dude that I really love who's over at Arkansas. And then offensively, they're going into year 2. Felipe Franks is gone. But between KJ Jefferson and Malik Hornsby, I think you're going to be okay. Losing Raheem Boyd, is going to hurt, but you also you got dudes coming in. I love my guy AJ, right? AJ Green, Tulsa Union, gonna play a little tailback for the Razorbacks. So buy into what Arkansas can be. Believe in what Arkansas might be able to accomplish in that SEC West, because when their schedule comes out, I'm gonna be interested, right? I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to their first that big non-conference game against Texas. There's a lot of people that are looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to that game because you got Stevie Sarkisian in year 1. You got Sam Pittman in year 2. We know that Ampersand U is also on the schedule for them. If they can win either one of those games, you're probably looking at an 8-win Arkansas, right? I really believe that they're on track to be something like great, man. And they're going to be buoyed by the defense. Run that veer and shoot. Take your shots when you can. Let Kendall Browse do what Kendall Browse does. And let Barry Odom and that defense win you football games. Because one of the things that we saw from them, guys like Hudson Clark, they're going to be ball hawks. They're going to go after the football. And they're going to get you in positions to score. Just don't screw up once they get you to turnover. All right? So buy into Jalen Catalon. Buy into Grant Morgan. Buy into Bumper Pool. And let's see what Arkansas offensively will be. Because if they're anything like good, they can challenge in the SEC West. Remember, this is an off year for Alabama, okay? LSU is going to be coming into a year where they might win 10 games. They're going to be that talented. Ole Miss is going to have to find ways to replace Kenny Yeboah and Elijah Moore, right? They're putting a lot on Matt Corral, okay? There's reason to believe Arkansas can be there at the end. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.